Punches. Trauma, life, and burnout. I've lived through it all, and I've built something for the fighters that refuse to stay down. If you're ready to stop playing small and own your story, then this is where you belong. The Unstoppable Network is where the overcoming stories are getting very loud. From veterans to survivors to trailblazers, sharing their story of turning their pain into power. Welcome to the Unstoppable Network, where we turn your mess into a message.
All right. Welcome to another episode of the Unstoppable Network. I'm your host, Dorothy Odell. I am the media maven here, bringing stories of people being unstoppable. And I want to talk to you tonight because this one is no stranger to this show. We had it on when the show was the Unstoppable Overcomers and the Power Half Hour. And first of all, I want to know where you're listening in from. Where are you listening in from? And I want to know, what is 3 things that you really would like help with in 2026? So if I was to wave this magic wand in front of the entire world and say, hey, listen, I want these 3 things to happen this year, and this is the help that I need to get it. So if you're listening, in the comments, put where you're listening in from and what 3 things that you're looking for this year. And we may have some surprise guests show up. I kind of did this last minute, and we're after the holidays. We're probably all really tired, and for some of us, it's our first day back to work full time, and since before the holidays. And for some of us, it's we've gone in sprinkled over the holidays, and just trying to get back into that routine. Is anybody else having a hard time getting back in that routine? I have to say, um, I have been off. I have been off since December 14th, and off and on since December 14th. Sorry, one of our special guests is messaging me right now, and gave me about a tire, but tonight we're just going on the fly. So, anyways, and it's been nice. It's been nice to have a lot of this downtime, and just excited, about what 2026 is bringing. And sorry, what 2026 is going to bring us. I don't know about you, but I'm excited. The year of the snake, we shed what was holding us back. And 2020, that's 2025, 2026, we're going in and we're kicking ass and taking names. The stallion is going to get us through this year. So I'm super excited. And some things to help us along the way is we need subscribers to our YouTube channel. That is one of my biggest things that I really could use your help on, which I'm going to put. Sorry, something else was going on in there and I had no idea. So, anyways, so if one of the things you could do for me, if you have never subscribed to our channel, I would really love you to do that. And if you could, I'm putting this in the comments right now, and then I'll bring it up. If you could share it with somebody else. So if you know of somebody who is unstoppable or who wants to be unstoppable, or who is going through something right now and needs help to be unstoppable, this network is what they need to see. 100%. So please subscribe, share with your friends, and I would like to hear 3 things that you're looking for help for this year. And let's see if in the comments, please don't be shy. Put it in the comments what it is that you need. I'm actually going to I'm going to try and bring up on my other screen if there's any comments on either LinkedIn or Facebook, because I'm not seeing any comments right now, but I don't know. Yeah. All right. So subscribe to our channel, share it with your friends, have them subscribe. Uh, that would be greatly appreciated. Um, Next thing that I could use is anybody who would like to advertise their business, their services on our show. Get in touch with me, and we'll see how we can make that happen. We'll work together, uh, collaborating on getting that together. And number 3, if you know somebody who is a badass and really, um, likes to read, then please let me know, because I want to do something for authors this year. And I'm really thinking that I would like to start a book club. And I'm really thinking that I would really, my favorite genre is romance and things like that. And right now, I don't know if any of you know Bella Matthews, but shout out to her. She's an amazing author. I read her book last night in one day, like one day. And I'm trying to get on. I don't know if any of you from Windsor went to the Rose City Romance. Um, they had it at the casino. It was an amazing event, put on by Katie. Let me see what Katie Smoak, SMOAK, and she did an amazing job. There were some authors that I had never met before, and I picked up some of their books, and I'm telling you, I met a whole new world in some of those books. So it was nice to connect with the authors and be there and be there in person. So yeah, looking forward to that again this year. We're trying to get Katie on the show. She's also an author, and she's the one that puts this together. The one night they dress up, they do. Oh, one of the guys is on one of the covers of the romance novels, and he comes in and they do this whole big thing. So I didn't go to that part. I kind of signed up at the last minute because I didn't know too much about it, and I wanted to learn about it. So uh, stay tuned for all our romance readers out there, because we've got a special thing coming your way. Um, Also became part of the Hope Coalition with Chad Kennedy and his group. So not sure exactly what that entails, but when it comes to veterans, I'm going to say yes. And don't forget, another thing I want this year is I started this show 4 years ago, and a lot of the stuff that we talk about on here is mental health related. And when we found out that the 22 veterans a day were dying by suicide 4 years ago, that number has escalated and it's not gone down. I woke up New Year's Eve morning and was astounded to hear the news of another suicide within the community. And I think one of our active duty members was actually killed as well. So that put a fire under my ass again, because I'm thinking, why is it after 4 years that we still have this issue? And I know I can't save the world. And I try and do my part to do that. And I just want people to remember about Angels 14. So I've talked about Angels 14 several times in this show. It is a veteran organization that was founded by 2 veterans and a Vietnamese refugee. And basically we're there for Friday connection and sustainability, and we're just there to help each other. And so if you are a veteran, first responder, or ally, and you're available Fridays at noon, I would like you to connect with myself, Michael Parker, or Jeffrey Knight, and we will get you that Zoom link. But we meet by Zoom every Friday at noon Eastern Standard Time, and it is the best hour of my week. Um, we have had people that come in with, wouldn't even turn the camera on, and years later are thriving in life. And so that's what it's all about, right? It's helping others, especially those who have served. And so if you are somebody who has served, still serving, or an ally, please connect with myself, Michael Parker, or Jeffrey, and we want to be there for you. Like that group is, whether there's two people on or whether the room is full. Um, there's something for everybody, and it makes you feel at home. When you leave the service, I get you feel that sometimes life is hard and you don't know what transition is, and that helps you. But now, thank God, Dr. Christy is in the house. And how are you, my dear?
Hello.
Hello. Thanks for shoveling down your food so you could be on here tonight.
Yeah, of course. Sorry, I'm trying to make this thing. I'm using my phone, and I was trying to put it this way, and it wouldn't fit in my little stand. So this is how it's going to be.
Cool. So tonight, I thought we'd have a little bit of fun.
Okay, I'm
The
scared.
wand?
What's going on?
Okay. So I've had this magic wand on the show before, and I know we talked briefly about when I went to Toronto and did those two talks in Toronto at the University of Toronto before Christmas. And one of my talks is about essentially asking for what you want, right? And so I thought it would be fun to have people in the comments that they're being shy because no one has put in the comments what the three things are that they want. Hey, Inger, thanks for joining us. She's here. Happy Monday. So, with that, I would like people who are coming in, let us know where you're calling in from, and three things that you would like this year, whether that you want help with or essentially, because when we put it out in the universe or out in space here, it kind of takes on, and when I did this on the show on the Power Half Hour, I had people ask for three things, and I could fulfill on at least one thing right away, or know somebody who could. So if you're in a business, what are you wanting? Who are you wanting to connect with? Or what is it that you're wanting more of? And yeah, three things. So, and Inger says she recognizes one because she was there. I met Inger for the first time ever in real life at Toronto. She came to see me talk. So, isn't that Christy? So, Dr. Christy, when do you get set up? I should have let her.
Really hard. I
should have given her. There you go.
A little bit better. However, sorry. Even with this though, hang on a second. I'm gonna click something because even with doing that, my screen is really messed up. So if I click a button and I leave, then I'll be back. I don't know what the button does.
If it helps you, she hit the button and she's gone, but she'll be back. So yes. So it was a pleasure to see you, Inger, in Toronto. So Inger, in the comments, what three things are you looking for this year in 2026? Are you okay now?
I'm better now, yes.
All right. Because you were perfect the way you were, but
I had a bad feeling that that button was going to make me leave. But this is still better now because before you were really, really small and I couldn't see you. So this is better.
All right.
So way to put me on the spot though, because you didn't prep me.
I know.
What I was. You said it was going to be fun. I was expecting Would You Rather.
Oh, well, we could do Would You Rather after we do the three things that you want this year.
All right. Well,
And
Um,
besides, I need somebody else besides you with Would You Rather as a buffer because you drive me crazy and with Would You Rather. And
I
I
actually
didn't give
played.
anybody prep time. And so I reached out to our girlfriends. This is what I did. I reached out to a couple of my girlfriends and I said, "Hey, do you want to come on?" And I didn't give them any structure or what this was about. And Dr. Christie thrives on structure and details, which
Thanks.
I don't. And she's like, "You're such a bitch right now."
I wasn't gonna say that on live air.
I know, but I can see it in your face. Because we're, this is what happens with friends. You can read each other. I know her. Um, but
Even though I'm calling you things in my head, I would never actually say those out loud right now because I don't actually mean them. You're a lovely human, Dorothy. And I don't have three things off the top of my head. I do have one though, which is really
okay,
good.
what's one?
Well, I mean, and I have like a list of everything, but quite frankly, I don't want to share everything on my list
Oh,
publicly. Some things are just for me.
good.
But the thing that I would definitely share publicly, and especially if you or other people know others that would be interested in this, in the last few months, I've been reaching out to businesses to um, essentially market myself as somebody who can come into businesses and do wellness workshops. And so it's been a new, exciting opportunity for me to create presentations and support employees at their businesses because ultimately, at the end of the day, businesses are run by humans, and the healthier we can make humans, the healthier the businesses could theoretically run. So I'm looking to open up that avenue kind of as a income generating stream, of course, for me, and just helping support more people and more businesses in the area. So I obviously have been reaching out to local places near
Mhm.
Glenview, Illinois, but I could theoretically do these things virtually. So if you know businesses that have this type of thing and wellness on their radar to support their employees in this way, that's a fantastic introduction that I would love.
Well, there we go. Okay, so now you've got my peaked because, first of all, well, I mean, it's been a while since you've been on the show. So tell everybody who you are and what you do,
Sure.
besides
So
being my fabulous, amazing friend. And but for the new people that are just catching on, who are you and what do you do?
So, hello, everybody. My name is Dr. Christy Matuzik. I am a holistic chiropractor in the Chicago area. When I say holistic chiropractor, I don't just mean cracking backs and things of that nature. I mean, I look at the whole human as mind, body, and spirit. And so when I see the patient, I take a long, long history where we talk about, what your mother's pregnancy was like with you, and we talk about your diet currently, what your stress was like, what growing up was like, all sorts of things to get to the root of what might be your issues. So if people come in with low back pain, which is very typical for a chiropractor, you're not just a back walking around independent of your body. You are a whole person with stressors, with dietary, potential implications. If there's something you're eating that's creating inflammation, if you're not drinking enough water. So things of that nature. So I work with people virtually and in person to help you achieve your optimal health goals.
I Yes, and I have to say that this amazing lady has been my go-to person here for the last 3 or 4 years in the holistic world. I knew nothing about being anything holistic until I met Dr. Christie. And I have to say, my MD, I say to her, I want as holistic as possible. And she looks at me and she shakes her head. But that's okay because I think the best of both worlds is merging the holistic with the what do you call it? I don't know the true
The
word for
Eastern
it.
and Western side.
Right.
Yeah.
I think to have the best of both worlds, and as as somebody who travels for the doctor that I need, because I had this one dentist that was in Wallaceburg, Ontario, which was like an hour or so away from me at one point. And well, why do you do that? Because he's the best. So why not go to the best? So Dr. Christie's the best in her field. And so, yes, I have gone to Illinois, but we've also done virtual. Why can't I think tonight? I don't want to say episodes, virtual appointments. Thank you, virtual appointments. So she's definitely your go-to for the holistic side of things here. And so, how does that work? What do you mean by workshops in a business? Like what? I'm trying to think. I'm not. This is actually legit because I'm trying to.
Yeah.
I know what you do. How do you bring that into the workplace?
Yeah. So, well, two things, because I first wanted to just comment. Of course, I'm in the holistic world of things, but I 100% agree with you. And like merging the Western and Eastern is important. And obviously, like I come from a place that I always want to do things holistically without medications, without surgery. And at the end of the day, those things exist for a reason. And, there are times and places for everything. And so for anybody who's watching, I just wanted to throw that out there because it is important to recognize that there's a time and a place for everything. So if you ended up in a massive car accident and your spleen is sitting outside on the highway, you don't want to be in my office. Or if you're having a heart attack, you don't want to be in my office. If your appendix is about to burst, you don't want to be in my office, right? So, but preventing all those things from happening, maybe not quite the car accident, but theoretically the car accident, getting your mind, body, and spirit balanced, more things can be prevented. So wanted to throw that out there. To answer your question, easiest way to answer, I actually just did one of these workshops for my kids' school, actually. So it wasn't for the students, it was for the teachers and the staff and the faculty. It was the day that they were being released for winter break. And the students were released early and they were having like an institute professional development kind of day. So I went in and created a presentation, and I had talked and surveyed them prior to coming in to gauge where they were at, what they were most interested in. And the general topic was around, most of their interest was gauged around feeling better, increasing their energy, increasing their focus, and then reducing pain and inflammation through their diet. And I said, great, because what we can do with our diet to produce energy and better focus mentally are the same things that reduce inflammation and pain. So it was a really good one to kind of merge together. And it was only a 30-minute talk. I usually prefer doing hour to an hour and a half workshops, but they preferred a shorter one. So I condensed a lot of information into that 30 minutes and just went through, some of it was pretty common sense-ish to me, but it's not necessarily common sense to everybody. And oftentimes I find even the things that we all know are common sense, we're still not doing necessarily, right? So even though someone knows that McDonald's and pizza and French fries aren't healthy, people still do those things because we're humans and we have life, and things get in the way of doing all the things that we know we should be doing. So reiterating some of those points and showing some of the impact on the body of those choices was kind of the purpose of this, at least this presentation.
Right. Wow. I love that. And by the way, I had no idea that this is something that you were doing.
It's been relatively new. I've been working on it the last 3-ish months or so, and it was a very exciting first. It's a very new venture for me, and the first one went very well. It was very well received. I put out a survey afterwards, so I'm really looking forward to doing more of those this year.
Love it. So in the comments, to connect with Dr. Christy, I put her website there. I stole that off your Facebook, so if there's something different, let me know.
That works. It still goes to the same place.
Cool. All right. So I noticed, because I got this from Dr. Christy, I want to do this in between what we're talking about. So let's pull a fun card. And okay, if those of you are offended by swear words, I'm sorry. You might want to take a pee break. But I like them and they're fucking fun. And so pick. Okay, so pick which side, middle, or whatever. What do you want?
Third one in from the left.
My left or your left?
It was my left that I was counting, but you can do whatever.
Positive vibes only. Fuck negativity.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. So cool. So, all right. So I want to go into the comments because Inger has 3 things she would like for Navy District. She'd love to teach more LinkedIn workshops to companies, corporate teams, looking for a fractional or consulting role as a community builder in the corporate space. And she'd like to do more speaking, writing gigs this year. And of course, those are paid.
Yeah.
That's what she would like.
I think
So,
Inger and I are on the same page. I like it.
yes, Inger, and well, to be honest, she put this up before you started talking about yours, and so that's funny that you basically had or were similar. And Inger and I talked today, and so I'm with you on the speaking and writing gigs. I did, and of course it's not here because I wasn't ready prepared to say this, but I did write in Bana magazine, which Dr. Christie was one of the ones that had proofread it before I actually sent it in. So I did that in 2025. And of course, that's one of the ones that, you do for free. But it's a great magazine. It's about mental health and it's about eating disorders, which is what Dr. Christie was just kind of mentioning, like eating better, eating nutritionally. And I know it was the holidays, and we are probably either uh drinking tons of water and trying to flush the crap that we just ate out of Christmas, or you know I know somebody got challenged to run up and down the stairs this past weekend when they thought that they shouldn't have any chocolate. But and I'm not saying who that is, but moving your body is got to be one of those things that is, Dr. Christie's go-to is drink tons of water, move your body. Every time I talk to her, I got mine too. I got the regular and I got the
Let's cheers.
sparkling. Cheers. Um, so okay, now I'm gonna put you on the spot again. So we have one. So we're looking for businesses, pardon me, in the Niles area or in Chicago area, or businesses around the world that want to do virtually to help their employees better understand how nutrition works with their body and things of that nature. So what else? Wait a minute. You have 2 books out, right?
I do.
So do you have those books in front of you?
I can in about 15 seconds.
All right. I'm trying to think if I can't find my copy. They're probably on my bookshelf in my bedroom.
Here we
I
are.
try and keep everybody's handy. There we go. So creating the chaos.
Part 1 and part 2.
Do I have part 2?
Oh no, if you don't, I should make sure you get it.
Wow.
Yeah, part 2 was published last May, I think, May of 2025.
So I personally have never given birth. I just want to preface this. And I read her Coordinating the Chaos, and I learned a lot about women in general and learning a lot about being a parent. Now, I am a step parent. I've never given birth, nor do I now want to ever.
I scared you off of that, right?
The placenta capsules was what got me. And I mean, I read that sucker. When did the first book come out?
2021, I believe.
Yeah. So, and it's an amazing book. I read it front to back, and I almost threw up about the placenta capsules. But knock yourself out, women who ever want to do this, or who have done it. No judgment.
It's actually really helpful when it's necessary. I did it twice out of my 3 kids because I didn't really know about it after my first one, and I can guarantee you it would have probably saved my life and taken away postpartum depression that I had with my first, but didn't know what I didn't know at the time. But then I did it with my second too. Second one, I needed it and it felt amazing. Third one, I don't think I needed it, so it was just okay. But it can literally save your life if you are hormonally off balance after giving birth. So.
And you're drinking her water too. I love it.
Yay.
So so I want to let's back up a little bit because people are like, what the hell is she talking about? So in the book, and you're correct me if I'm wrong. You had mentioned something. So what is all? Yeah, get it on Amazon. But I mean, this is just one trick that I learned. And you just said that it helps with postpartum depression. So what is it? You take the placenta and you dry it out and you put it in capsules, and then you take that and it helps with anger. Sorry, I'm laughing because the fingers come right here. It sounds gross as shit, but if it helps you that much and you don't end up with postpartum depression, because I've heard a lot of women like go like kind of lose their shit. It's kind of like a reverse menopause when we lose our shit in menopause, I would say.
Yeah, that there's actually a lot of parallels with that. And actually, in this conversation, I wonder if I still had any placenta pills, if they would be helpful to have frozen them for this time of midlife. I don't know the answer to that, but yeah. So I mean, you pretty much nailed it, right? So in this book, I mean, so this is coordinating the chaos through birth and burnout. It's kind of like the holistic guide to parenting as a newly postpartum woman, and so I give insights and tips. I share a lot of my own story, and then I also give insights and tips to keep yourself healthy and the baby healthy in the first year or so of life. And one of the things that I mention in there is this placenta conversation. I had postpartum depression with my first son and didn't really even recognize it until he was almost 2. It was literally just this fog, and it wasn't to the point. I mean, some of the ways that you kind of described it being noticeable in women is where they're rageful and they are dissociated and they need to be hospitalized. I didn't have any of that. None of those were those obvious types of symptoms. I even went to all my appointments with the midwives after the 6-week checkup and this and that, and they have you fill out the little form, and I'm like, I'm not depressed. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. But what wasn't fine is I literally just disconnected myself from my own life. It was like I was young when I had my first. I think I was 28. I don't know. I'd have to do the math now. 28, somewhere in there. And the culture kind of tells you that as soon as you become a mother, your life is no longer yours. And you have to give everything that you have to this new little human that you've just created. And it doesn't matter if you had a life or passions or excitement or things that brought you joy. This is what your life is now. And I think the narrative's shifting a bit more than it did 15 years ago when I had him. But at the time, being young, none of my friends had kids at that point. So I was kind of the first paving the way, and it was overwhelming as hell. And I remember I didn't even care about my birthday that year. I didn't care about anything that would draw attention to me. I was like, no, don't look at me. We don't want to talk about it. It's fine. And it was just like I lived 2 years in a fog and then started to come out of it when he was coming right around 2. And I was like, huh, is that what depression feels like? Because I think that makes sense. And then I did some more reading and research, and sure enough, postpartum depression can last years. And it can be very subtle. So not everybody, it's not always big and flashy and suicidal and all these big things that you think of. It can just be very subtle and like not feeling like yourself, which often is a hormonal shift, right? As we know in this perspective and age of our lives, not feeling like yourself is one of the first things that shifts. So yeah, I mean, I forget the original question. Oh, the placenta pills. The placenta did help a lot with that though. And I recognized that with my second one when I was able to do that. It was night and day compared to my first pregnancy and postpartum experience. But that's exactly what they do. A postpartum doula will come in, they'll take your placenta, they will clean it. So it's not like raw and goopy and anything, but they clean it off. They sterilize it. And then depending on what method you use, there's an herbal infusion blend where you can put Chinese herbs and things of that nature into it to potentially enhance the effects. Or you can do the raw method, which is just the placenta, nothing else. And so once it dries from the sterilization process, then you put it into capsules and then you take it as needed.
Wow. Okay, so this might be a dumb question, but I'm going to ask it anyways. So I know when a woman gives birth and she, pumps and she has her breast milk and she puts it in the freezer and can use it for other babies. Can this placenta be used for other humans?
It's a great question. I honestly don't know the answer to that. My inclination is to say no.
Yeah.
But
I
you know what? But I kind of almost take that back, because in what I do supplement wise with patients, I've given people cow ovary and uterus and adrenal gland. So it's like, it's really just taking it's eating organ meat is what it is.
right.
And eating organ meat is really, really, really beneficial. Like, we used to eat the entire animal when we would kill it and have a feast. Now we only eat the muscle. We don't eat the liver anymore. And a lot of those fat soluble vitamins and nutrients and minerals, there's like virtually no other areas to get them unless we're just supplementing with it. So in walking it through, it might be weird for somebody to take someone else's placenta, but it might not be contraindicated. I would have to look it up. I don't know the answer.
Yeah, and it's just one of those things that I thought of, because me, my mind goes everywhere and anywhere, and no particular order. And so yeah, I just and if we could have frozen those damn things and then use them in it while we're going through menopause, that would be freaking amazing.
Yeah. I
Um,
don't know how long it lasts, though. I do want to say, just like breast milk, for instance, if you're using it for other reasons other than oral ingestion, you can use it for like a bath or a skin issue or something after quote unquote expiration. But usually it's recommended, if you're storing breast milk, for instance, in a deep freezer, only like a year to 18 months is kind of like the cutoff, so to speak. I think it's recommended, plus the placenta encapsulations are the same. So after about a year or so, they even tell you, I think the doulas also told us, like, you can take it as long as you need it and then refrigerate or freeze it until like your first postpartum period. If at that point you start to have symptoms or have hormonal issues that you might need some support with, you can take it then. So it would probably most certainly help with this time of life. But I'm just thinking, timing wise, it wouldn't match up.
right. Just
So
all interesting things
not a
here.
bad question though. I would have to look into that.
Well, I just want to give a shout out here, Russ. Thank you for joining us, and TDLW podcast. Welcome. So men that are joining us, thank you. I decided that this was just going to be a wing it night, because what the heck, I'm the queen of winging, and so I had done an ask earlier this last year about the art of the ask. So, what are three things that you would like this year in 2029? And if you're just joining us, put them in the comments. We'd love to hear from you, and maybe we can help you. Oh, it's Enrique, right? I love it. Thanks for joining us, Enrique. He's a veteran too, so I love that. And he's got, I know, two shows. I was on his Hawaii one. Pardon me, I forget it was a couple years ago, so it's more than like my brain is allowing me at the moment off the fly. And so welcome, I love that. Do you still have both podcasts, Enrique? uh, if you're still joining us, that would be cool. Name them, and we can get people to subscribe to yours as well. So Dr. Christy had said that she is looking to for businesses that she could perhaps do Aloha Friday Live. That's right, and
Nice.
it's on Fridays. And he's got pineapple treats and everything. Uh, love it. Go subscribe to Enrique's YouTube channel as well, please, guys. Okay. Yes. So Dr. Christie's looking for businesses that she can go in and do workshops around health and wellness and things like that. And she was just talking about her books. The first one was Coordinating the Chaos, which I just told you I totally remembered because of the placenta thing. And then Coordinating the Chaos too. So what's the second one about?
So same concept, but next stage of parenting. So the chaos does not end. Anyone with children out there, the chaos doesn't end after the first year or two of life. It just continues and morphs into different types of chaos. So the goal with the series is to always stay ahead of whatever stage I'm writing about. So the Coordinating the Chaos through toddlerhood, toilets, and tantrums is the second one, and that's in like the toddlerhood, like up till school age kind of phase. Yeah, my boys are currently 15, 12, and 9. And so next stage will be the school age stuff. And man, have I got some stories. Although as I write more, I have to be more cautious about which stories I share, because now they're getting older and I just won't flat out won't share certain things publicly. Like when they're 2, I can talk about their potty accidents and everybody will laugh. When we're talking about real stuff that is a bigger issue, you know, in the 8 to 12 preteen type ages, I'm not going to throw them under the bus anymore.
Right. And Enrique's inviting you to his DCLW live podcast
Awesome.
as well. So perfect. Uh, perfect. So when's the next book coming out?
So I haven't started writing that one yet. Honestly, so you mentioned like the 3 things. The second thing, actually, I have 3 for you. So the second thing would be just to market these better, because I quite honestly haven't done a fantastic job of marketing them and getting them into the hands of the people who need it. So that is my number 2, is just to market and quite frankly sell more of the books, because women, I mean, just flat out, women need them. Like, we're all, especially moms, we're all doing the best that we can, running around with like chickens with our heads cut off, managing the chaos. And it's just, you know, from a holistic healing doctor perspective, but also just a human perspective, just trying to meet people where they are and let them know that they're not alone in this phase of life. So that's the whole purpose of those. So that would be my number 2. The third book will probably, I might start writing it next year, but we'll see. It's a harder one to write because, like I said, while I can draw on my own experience, I have to be selective about the experiences that I share.
Right. Or change the names of the innocent.
Right. protect their
Protect the
anonymity.
names of the innocent. And I've met all of our boys, and they're all beautiful young men and handsome young men. And so I could probably pick out which one is which story is which.
Yeah.
Peyton is our class clown, so we love Peyton. We love them all.
He actually told me a story just today. I was cooking dinner and he said, "You want to know what I did in school today that was good?" And I said, "Yeah, what did you do in good in school today? Tell me what you did." And he said, "Well, my teacher started saying that this isn't for grade, but," and he said, "So I put my pencil down and I walked out of the room to get some water." It's like, of course you did. That's not what I would have called something good, Peyton, but okay.
He's firmly putting a boundary in, and he's holding to that boundary. And I can't wait to hear Jason's. I can't wait to hear what Jason's comment was on that.
He just, I think he had just gotten home from work and was just like not at capacity to respond, so he just walked away.
I love it. Okay, so what's the third thing?
I'm hoping to create and put out a hormone course for women. So anybody in these conversations of not just perimenopause, but thyroid challenges, adrenal fatigue, the perimenopausal and postmenopausal years, or even prior to that, the navigation of PMS and those types of symptoms, hormones are a bitch. Let's just be real. And so I'm hoping to get something like that out and rolling this year.
Love it. I mean, it's much needed. Every woman over the age of, well, it all starts at different age. Let's just put it this way, because I have fought with my MD for years that I was in perimenopause, and I was basically said, "You're too young." But I call bullshit, because I was trying to figure it out between Dr. Christie and my naturopath and my MD. Yes, that's how many people it takes to make this girl run. We figured it out that it had to have been close to 30 years of age. And because I was trying to piece it all together, certain events in my life, and when I was with my ex and things like that, and certain things that had happened, and I'm like, oh yeah, like this has been going on a lot longer than I expected. And I turned 50 next year, or this year. Oh, it's this year now that we're in 2026. And oh yeah, you're firmly in menopause. Oh, that's funny, because you've been telling me it's in my head for the last 2 years, and now I'm in menopause. I went, anyways, doesn't matter. And no, that wasn't Dr. Christie. It doesn't matter who it was, but it was. It's been a frustrating experience, getting people to really listen to you and understand. And as somebody, like, I don't generally reach out for help unless I absolutely need it. And Dr. Christie has been the one that says, I want you in optimal health instead of just like, okay, like you're just borderline. Your numbers should be this, but I want them here, and doing what we can to get them there. She just doesn't want to be at like just skipping the line, right? And I can appreciate that. And as somebody who has just been on the line all her life, it's just like, oh, well, this is a new way of living, right? And so I was pain free the other day for the first time, and I don't know how long, and I'm like, oh shit, I can get on board with this, right? And so anyways, it's been an experience. So I'm glad that you're doing that, because my mother never talked to me about menopause. Actually, I'm informing her. It's so ass backwards, this life, because they never talked about it back then.
No, I would also argue they didn't have social media and as much of an outlet necessarily that women do now. Like, I'm sure they kind of talked about it in their own little circles, but they also didn't know what it was because it wasn't in our face, like in their face as much as it is now. And so it can spread a lot farther now than it probably used to.
Right. And like, she had a full hysterectomy when I was 16. So she was 36 years old and having a full hysterectomy.
Wow.
So I mean, so of course now we know that would immediately bring on the onset of menopause, which she was never told back then. So here she is trying to figure it out. Like, she's hot. My mother could sit on a what do you call that? A snow a mound of snow at the age of 36 and be fine. Like, seriously, if she could have lived on an ice cap, she probably would have. And to this day, she still needs a fan blowing on her in the dead of winter because she's hot. So anyways, I digress. Sorry.
Well, no, and it's not just the hot flashes. Those are things that are commonly known as symptoms, right? There are lots and lots and lots of symptoms that are less commonly known. And when you add it all together, it paints the picture a bit more clearly.
Yes. But I have to say, so each MD gets 30 minutes of medical training on menopause throughout their entire schooling, is what I'm being told. And I could be wrong, but that's what I've been told. And so, we expect them to know how to treat us, but yet they don't have the schooling for it. And that's why it's great that people like you and other people out there that have gone and gotten specialization and gotten the information, because it's so outdated. Like, I mean, this should have been happened like 20 years ago, but it's just in the last 10 years that I've been told that, women are actually looking into this, or people are actually looking into this. Because if a woman says, she doesn't feel well, it's okay. But if a man does, then it's something's wrong. Something's wrong.
Yep.
Is he dying? Whereas a woman who has had all these problems, who's bitchy as hell, and the men has no, I'm not saying this is in my household, but what the stories that I've heard, the man's not too understanding. But what the men don't realize is we literally can be fine 1 minute and the next it's like I can just like turn on a dime. And that is not me. And so when I'm telling you this is not me, and I've gotten nowhere or very little where for when I go into the doctor's office, it's freaking annoying. And I just kind of want to punch somebody out some days, which is not like me.
Well, and it would likely differ when the day that you go into the doctor's office, because certain days you're going to feel a certain way and other days you might feel fine. And so when you go in for that appointment, you better hope that you're feeling shitty that day so that you can recount everything accurately.
Right. And I love what Enrique says here. What I love about this is that it gives us men an incline as to all that women potentially are dealing with besides work. Oh yeah, don't even get me started on that because I had a grandmother. I had a grandmother. She passed away February of last year. Take care of your man. You got to take care of your man. The woman's place is to be at home. Okay, well now we need two incomes to get through the and have a roof over our heads. So, grandma, that's great and everything. But how is that supposed to happen? And then, you don't talk about your problems. You just bring dinner to the table and you rub his feet and serve him dinner. And I know this is pissing Chrissy off. And so I actually reached out to a friend of mine. So in my separation the first time, um, when I said I was with that other gentleman, well, that's calling loosely, but anyways, I inherited his best friend, right? So his best friend Jay and me are really good buddies, and I call him my brother. Been to his wedding, everything. Anyway, so I messaged him because it was his birthday this week, and I said, how's the family? How's the wife going? And he told me his wife's going through menopause too. And I'm like, oh, I said, give her grace. That's what I said to him. And he says, oh, trust me, I know. He goes, men blame women all the time, but they have no idea what you guys are going through. And so I love that Enrique said this because it's true. And we're supposed to grin, nod, bear it, and just, not share our problems. But truthfully, there's so much going on inside of us that if we were to tell you, gentlemen, everything that we're going through, you would probably leave us in a hurry.
Be like, peace out, we're done. Can't handle this circus.
Right. And so that's why we have girlfriends, men. Because if I was to tell my husband a third of what I tell my girlfriend, guaranteed we'd be divorced. So I love, Enrique, that you said that. And yes, we're sharing these issues just like men have issues too. Like men don't talk about their problems. They want to keep it to themselves. And I talking about this with my mom the other day as well. But yeah, the amount of things, the amount of things that women go through, Enrique, Dr. Christie said it in Coordinating Chaos. When you get pregnant, you have your child, you're dealing with postpartum depression, you're dealing with, lack of sleep because the baby won't sleep. You're dealing with all of that. Then you're dealing with the terrible twos, the temper tantrums, then heaven forbid they become a teenager, and that's when you want to strangle the shit out of them because they grow their own attitudes and everything. Not that I'm going through that at all right now.
They grow their own attitudes from the parents' attitudes, though. That's lovely.
Yeah,
so much fun when they act like you and you're like, oh, there it is, I created that. Nice.
Only I didn't create that. I didn't give birth to this, but yet I gotta deal with it.
You didn't, but I guarantee there's some influence there. If you look, you'll see it too.
Oh, we're not talking about that on air. But anyways.
No, I want to throw out a quick shout out to men, though, for dealing with us in all these weird moments and stuff, though. Don't get me wrong, we deal with a lot more, and our shoulders are filled with heaviness. The mental load concept has been thrown around a lot because more often than not, and the division of labor is equalizing over time, but for most of us, we carry the bulk of the mental load where it's, when are the kids' picture days? What do they need to wear for a holiday? What size shoe do they wear? All these little intricate details. We carry all of it in our head in a little hamster wheel all the time. Mm-hmm. But what I want to throw out there is people don't necessarily talk about how hard it probably is for a man to watch their woman go through this. Thinking about how hard it must have been for my husband to even watch me go through childbirth and labor and delivery. Like, talk about complete and total surrender and lack of control. Like, I have complete and lack of control in my body and what's happening right now, and it's not even happening to him. And he's just sitting there watching me scream in pain for 44 hours. Yes, that's how long my first labor was. And
I wonder why you had shock, woman.
But I mean, if you think about it, right? Like, to watch somebody that you love go through that much pain and suffering and not being able to do a damn thing about it, that sucks. And so from the childbirth standpoint, and then fast forward, 20 years or whatever, and here we are now, it's kind of the same concept. And yeah, we're all human and we can make jokes about it and roll our eyes and talk about how irritated we are and how we want to strangle our husbands or vice versa. At the end of the day, it's kind of, we can give each other grace because neither position's easy to be in.
100%. 100%. I agree with you on that. Mm-mm-mm.
Although it is
What?
a little bit annoying when, you know, a man can just go in for erectile dysfunction and get 75 different options to support him, and women have been struggling for decades and there's nothing. It's just prioritizing healthcare differently. It's changing, but.
Okay, I got to put this up here. So Enrique says, well, that seems like unwilling men, but a topic for our show, Christy. Unwilling to learn. So I'm going to have to connect you two. I have,
Yeah.
I'll connect you two on LinkedIn because that's where I'm connected with Enrique.
Sure,
So
thank you.
I'll connect you two after the show, and you can get on there. But yeah, and Mary, is it Mary Klaver? One of the well-known physicians for women in menopause and healthcare. This woman is constantly busy. She's on every podcast, every show talking about menopause, and she can't even take on any extra patients because I don't know if she's the only one that has to the degree that she, like the schooling that she has to that degree, or she was the first woman, so now everybody goes to her. I don't know, but like I just wish there was more people like yourself that are, you know, that are have that and are able to talk more about it because it's I've had a couple episodes on here last year about menopause, but I mean it's a hot topic and a lot of us are going through it. And yeah, maybe we'll have to have just a show about that. We'll have to have you come back and have another show just about that.
Yeah. Let's wait a little bit and get my course underway a little bit more so that we'll have
Yes.
more talking points.
Yeah. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Cool. All right. So what was your third thing? Now we've
The
gone way
hormones.
off.
So we
The
did
hormones, right?
the
right,
wellness
the
workshops
hormones,
at businesses, the books,
the
and
books.
hormones.
Right. And so where can they buy the books?
They are on Amazon. I'll do a little thing one more time. Coordinating the Chaos Through Birth and Burnout and Coordinating the Chaos Through Toddlerhood, Toilets, and Tantrums.
And you can definitely connect with Dr. Christy at ChristyMatusiakDC.com. Now, do you want them to check you out on Facebook or you prefer not to?
Yeah, absolutely. They can connect with me anywhere. I wonder, I think if you want to throw up my link tree, all of my connection opportunities are in there. Do you know that?
What is, no, I don't know your link. Can
If you,
you put it in a private or no?
I don't know. Can I do that?
If you can't, don't worry about it.
It
I
would
don't
just
have
be,
your
it would just be my link, like Linktree / Christy Matusiak DC, I'm pretty sure.
Linktree / Christy Matusiak MD
DC.
DC.com.
It might be linktree.com / Christy Matusiak DC. I'm double checking it.
I can't believe this is an hour.
Well, I
And
came on way late. Yeah, so
no, you did.
linktree.com / Christy Matusiak DC.
Perfect. There we go.
That should work. So yeah,
Perfect.
no, I'm on Instagram. I'm really bad about being active on LinkedIn, but I am on LinkedIn, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, everything, YouTube.
Oh, wait a minute. She has a thing called Dr. Christy Cares on YouTube.
I do. I'm not great about posting there anymore either, but I'm trying to get that. Probably should be my fourth thing if we're doing those things. But I'm actually being more intentional this year about posting regularly on all the other platforms, and then I just need to put them on YouTube once they're done because it's not that hard.
Right. No, it's not hard. It's just time consuming. And I get you because, you know, you have a practice and you have 3 boys, an amazing husband, and, you know, life is what it is. There's only so many hours in the day and we can't work them all.
Yeah, life keeps lifing. We're just humans humaning is one of the phrases that a friend of mine and I use.
That's right. Should we do one more of these cards before we wrap this up?
Oh, sure. You get to pick it this time, though.
I get to pick it. All right. I'm going for the middle because I like the middle.
Okay.
I love it. I get this one quite a lot. Fuck yes, I can.
Hell yeah, that's a good way to end.
Right? So if you're in something right now and you don't think you can't, fuck yes, you can. Like I said, this was our sweary affirmations. So if that offends you, we're sorry to offend you.
We're not sorry.
We're
I've got
sorry
one
to
too.
offend you. That's all I'm saying. Yes, and I got this from Dr. Christie. So thanks for being my my co-host tonight. And
Yeah,
this was fun. And see, I had no agenda other than to have fun and ask people.
and blindside your friend, but thank you.
Listen, I can't help you need every detail before you say I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for just jumping on and not knowing a damn thing.
and staying in my old ready sweatshirt from 20 years ago.
Listen, you got to do what you feel comfortable, my friend. With that,
Great. It was great to see you, Dorothy. Thanks for offering to have me on.
absolutely. And let me know when you have your course content done, and we'll have you come back on for a menopause episode.
Yeah,
Because
that'll
I
be
think that would be amazing. But go check Dr. Christie out. Tell her I sent you. Go purchase her books. They're amazing. If you are a first-time mom or a 10-time mom, you definitely need a copy of these books. She has them from birth to toddler right now, and next year she'll be having the one about the teenage years. Good luck with that. Hopefully we're still
there'll
here.
be one more buffer before the teenage one. But yeah, even so.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
It's a trip.
Anyways, and thank you to Enrique, Russ, and Inger for coming on here tonight. We appreciate you. And for anybody else, I know our friend Norm was here at one point, and Delph Fahela. I'm not sure who that is, but thank you for joining us. And as always, be unstoppable in all that you do. And remember, same time, same channel next week. Bye for now.
Thanks, Dorothy.
Welcome.